MAGA will be like, oh yeah, I love it, man. Here, Elon, take more money of mine. You only have 250 billion. I need you to have 350 billion. Please take my money. Oh my.
Cenk Uygur and Anna Kasparian of the Young Turks broke down the weird obsession that MAGA has with Elon Musk and the frightening possibilities of Elon Musk's involvement with the upcoming Trump administration. We're going to take a look at clips of Cenk Uygur and Anna Kasparian on the Young Turks. I will share my thoughts about Elon Musk as well. Let's check this out together.
A star is born, Elon. Now he is. Now he's an amazing guy. We were sitting together tonight. You know, he spent 2 weeks in Philadelphia and different parts of Pennsylvania campaigning.
Well, Elon Musk's $130 million contribution to Donald Trump's presidential race seems very likely to pay off as the now president-elect promises to reward Musk for the support by essentially including him in some role in the federal government. Now, there's been some reporting on it. Some of the reporting was spurred by one excerpt in an Axios column titled "Behind the Curtain, the Most Powerful Unelected Man Ever." And in it, the two columnists write that Musk is helping staff the top ranks of the incoming White House and will run an unregulated entity to recommend ways to cut and reorganize government.
That sounds great.
Okay, they didn't cite anything for that. I was curious, what are they specifically referring to? They talk about, an unregulated entity. What is that entity? I had to do a lot more digging since Axios reports in bullet points, and here's what I found. So Musk is in fact looking to cut regulations specifically to benefit his own businesses, which is the least shocking thing on the planet. In a CNBC piece, they report that Cantor Fitzgerald CEO Howard Lutnick said that he and Musk were co-founders of the envisioned Department of Government Efficiency, and he asked Musk how much he thought could be cut from the federal budget. Musk answered at least $2 trillion, which is more than the federal government's discretionary budget of $1.7 trillion. Now, Musk didn't specify specifically what he sought to cut, but he did complain about specific government agencies for what he feels is their regulatory overreach. And he specifically mentioned the Securities and Exchange Commissions, the Environmental Protection Agency, and the FAA. Now, Musk intends to use this role to do away with the regulations that he finds too burdensome or inconvenient for his businesses. Musk also said during a Tesla earnings call on October 23rd that he intended to use his sway with Trump to establish a federal approval process for autonomous vehicles. Currently, those approval processes happen at the state level. And he complained that there are too many IRS agents. And so
of course he did.
That's obviously something that annoys him, considering the fact that IRS agents ensure that everyone's paying their fair share in taxes. And so unclear if he is going to target the IRS, but I wouldn't be surprised if he is given a role and free reign to cut, funding to various or cut various jobs within the federal government. And then the final thing I want to just quickly mention is let's go to the last graphic here. CNBC reports that given the executive branch's outsized control over federal regulatory bodies, Musk can look forward to regulators and intelligence agencies winding down some or all of the 19 known ongoing federal investigations and lawsuits against Tesla, SpaceX, and X, formerly known as Twitter. So it seems, based on the reporting that we have so far and based on his public statements, the things that he seems to be targeting are regulations and potential government agencies that are cumbersome or regulatory or inconvenient for his own bottom line and his own businesses.
Yeah. So first, Anna, you said it's the least surprising thing. That's true for rational people who've been following this, but the right wing doesn't realize any of this. They think that Elon Musk is just looking out for them. Look, I don't know if they'll ever come to a rude awakening on that, or Elon Musk and Donald Trump will rob us blind for 4 years, take trillions of dollars from us, And then MAGA will be like, oh yeah, I love it, man. Here, Elon, take more money of mine. You only have 250 billion. I need you to have 350 billion. Please take my money. Oh my.
Two things that I think are very interesting about all of this. One, what Cenk Uygur is saying here about what if MAGA knows any of this. One thing that I've been thinking a lot about, I live in an area where the federal government is one of the biggest employers. And so I know a lot of people who work for the federal government who are hardcore Trump supporters. And I think these people are going to be very shocked when some of them lose their jobs. Because, Project 2025, they want to cut, they're saying 50,000 federal employees and either, not replace those jobs at all or replace them with loyalists. So the ones who know about Project 2025 and actually believe in it, you see all kinds of stuff on social media. Oh, Project 2025 is it's a hoax made up by the left. Well, it's not a hoax. And if they get their way and they cut tens of thousands of federal workers, there are going to be some MAGA people that are going to lose their jobs. And what are they going to say then? Are they going to, they're not going to be able to blame that on Biden or blame it on Obama because they are gleefully, the Trump administration, the Project 2025 people who are going to be running some of the Trump administration, we believe, are gleefully talking about getting rid of these federal workers. So what's the reaction going to be from MAGA then? The second point is you have all these MAGA people who are obsessed with Elon Musk and hate electric cars, which is a weird disconnect. Much of Project 2025, or at least part of Project 2025, and just the conservative right-wing Republican agenda, not just the establishment Republicans, but MAGA and Donald Trump, are very pro-oil and coal and natural gas and all of that, which that would seem to fly in the face of Elon Musk. And who is going to win there? I think that's going to be fascinating to see because you've had Republicans who for years have been pissed off about electric cars and we don't want charging stations and blah, 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 all of that. You would have to think that Elon Musk is going to be using his power in the administration to build more charging stations for his cars, probably have us, the taxpayers, pay for it, and sell more of his cars and probably have Teslas being used as cars that the federal government uses, like the post office or whatever. So how is that going to work when you have so much oil lobby money coming in that'll be coming into the Trump administration? How are this is going to be an interesting battle to watch. Elon Musk versus the oil companies.
My kids shouldn't have it, etc. Look, I'm not saying they're going to do that. Maybe at some point in the 4 years they realize, oh, these guys are robbing us too, right? Oh, he deregulated every single agency that regulates his companies. He took money away from the IRS so they couldn't audit him so he could cheat on his taxes. And we have to pay more taxes so he pays less even though he's the richest man in the world and has over $200 billion. Is that thought ever going to occur to them? I was on a right-wing show, and they're like, "Oh, aren't you in favor of Department of Government Efficiency? That's like Doge, like the Dogecoin, like the Bitcoin thing that he was doing. Isn't that amazing?" I'm like, "No, it's not amazing." The largest donor to a presidential candidate says, "Yeah, I will end all criminal investigations of me, all regulatory investigations of me. I will then defund anyone who could regulate me or any of my incredibly rich friends so they can break any law and rule and regulation that they like. And then on top of that, we're not even gonna pay taxes, you schmucks. We're gonna make you pay the taxes, right?" And so are they gonna find that out? Are they ever gonna know that? I don't know. Probably because Tucker Carlson and all the other guys will tell them, "Oh no, when Elon doesn't pay any taxes, that's good for you. It'll trickle on you at some point." So, okay, this is the Sheldon Adelson model, but to be fair, it's actually originally the Koch brothers model, okay?
Yep.
Koch brothers, when they were stealing oil from Native American lands, they got caught and they were in serious criminal trouble. And they realized after the 1978 Supreme Court decision had legalized bribery, oh, wait a minute, what if we just try to buy one of the senators or a couple of the senators? And one of the senators they bought was from their home state of Kansas. His name was Bob Dole. And so Bob Dole made that criminal investigation go away for them. And that was the beginning of the era of massive corruption where billionaires would just buy our government. So then Sheldon Adelson had a giant problem because he bribed some people in China. And that's actually, what's hilarious is bribing people here through campaign contributions is not illegal. But it is illegal here to bribe foreign governments. So Adelson had apparently done that in China. So he gave Trump $100 million. And when Trump got in, he's like, oh, this thing where you paid a $61 million bribe for a contract that must have been in the billions. Now we're estimating here, and based on the fine that he was sent to pay in China. He made all of that go away for a tiny little $9 million fine for a multi-billion-dollar project. So Sheldon Adelson could have gotten to jail. Instead, tiny little fine takes care of it. And you know where Sheldon Adelson makes most of his money and where most of his businesses are? China. So a guy who makes most of his money in China got a giant gift from Donald Trump because he gave him a campaign contribution, a lot of campaign contributions. Now his top donor, he's like, Sheldon Adelson, oh, you got away with criminality? Yeah, I'm gonna do the same. You got all these goodies, I can list you, but it's in my book, Justice is Coming. It's like half a chapter of all the things that Sheldon Adelson got for his bribes to Donald Trump, legalized bribes now. So Elon's like, why don't I get it? I already get tons of subsidies from the government. Maybe I could steal $1 trillion from these guys. And besides which, I've manipulated half the country into thinking I'm the good guy and that I'm the multi-billionaire looking out for their best interest.
And to answer Cenk Uygur's question here, no, MAGA and right-wingers are not ever going to figure this out, that the corporations are not paying any taxes and Elon Musk is not going to pay much percentage-wise in taxes, and all of that gets passed on to the rest of us. And if the MAGA right-wingers do understand that, they don't care. They're just going to say, if you say, oh, you know, Elon Musk should pay more taxes or corporations should pay more taxes, so we don't pay as much, working people don't pay as much, they'll just say that's communism. So to answer Cenk Uygur's question, some of them will never figure it out, but the ones who do aren't going to care. They're just going to say, well, what about the Democrats? And that's the answer. But like he said, this is one of the scarier things about there's a lot of potentially scary things about Trump being president again. But, you know, if we would have an actual office of efficiency where they would say, okay, you know, look at the trillions of dollars being wasted on war. And do we need 900 military bases around the world or whatever it is? Maybe we could scale some of these back. That would be great. Do you think they're going to make any cuts there? I would highly doubt it. But they're going to make cuts to the Department of Education, and they're going to make cuts to Medicare and Medicaid and Social Security and anything else that benefits regular people who are non-billionaires. Elon Musk doesn't need any of those things. He doesn't need Medicare or Medicaid or Social Security or any of that. If he gets sick, he doesn't ever have to worry that he's going to lose his money. But anything that benefits regular people like us, and a whole lot of those people are going to be regular people who are MAGA Trump supporters, if Trump's administration and Elon Musk are able to do the things that they want to do, these people are going to be shocked. And they're going to say, we didn't sign up for this. And I, for one, will have no sympathy for these people. I don't know about you. Let me know in the comments what you think. But what do you think about what Cenk Uygur is saying here about Elon Musk? Do you think there's any possibility that maybe Elon Musk could actually cut wasteful spending? Things like the insane amount of money that we're spending on wars? Do you think there's any possibility of that? Let me know in the comments. Or do you think the cuts that Elon Musk and the rest of the Trump administration will do will be anything that benefits normal people? Let me know in the comments what you think about Elon Musk, Cenk Uygur, Ana Kasparian, Donald Trump, anything you'd like to comment about. Make sure to give me a like and subscribe. I want to keep growing this channel. And if you enjoy the content that I'm making, make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so yet. This is Chris on Culture, and I will see you in the next video.